Hello everyone. This is my first attempt at making a video. I actually made one and screwed it up somehow, and so this is actually a take two. It's too bad too, because it was but I'm brand new at this, and I've been on YouTube forever, like everybody, for whatever, 15 years, right? When did it start? Like 2004? Then Google bought them in like 2006, and then, gosh. So anyway, so here I am. So what got me to want to create a video was, I've always just been a lurker, maybe commented here and there, but I watch a lot of videos, but I've never actually made one or uploaded anything. But what got me on here today is that it's Apollo 11 50-year anniversary, and we've been hearing about it all week. It's been in the news, it's been on the radio, whatever your favorite media outlets are. And I just had to get on here and say something about it because, it just, there's still so much of the world that just has the wool pulled over their eyes by the media, the government, you name it, right? So, but what I found interesting, I heard this on the local radio show that I listened to throughout the week, and because they were talking about it, and 23% of people surveyed said that they believed that the moon landings were a hoax, or that they were faked up. And I find that to be a rather large number for, you know what I'm saying? Because a true conspiracy, something that's probably not really true, is usually not going to get more than 5%, or it's not going to get a real high number. But when you're talking a quarter of the people, almost 25%, are saying that it's a hoax, well, then I think it deserves some looking into. That's just how I feel about it. I find that rather a rather high number, right? And earlier today, I was poking around online, and Deep Inside the Rabbit Hole, who's a channel on YouTube. I think his channel is just that abbreviation. I think it's DITRH, I believe. Deep Inside the Rabbit Hole. I could be wrong on that. But anyway, he reposted this incredible 14 or 15 minute clip of this guy talking about this concept of the staircase of deception that's going on in our world today, and how JFK, like for him, and I really related to what he was saying, because, as a matter of fact, this was a clip that was replayed off the what's it called? I can't remember now. It'll come to me. But Veritas Radio. And I think the guy's name, he's an English chap, and his name is Neil Warren, or Neil something. So anyway, that should give you enough if you want to look and search for it. But the Staircase of Deception, he first brought up JFK, and I was like, yep, that was pretty much the beginning for me. It was like JFK, the whole JFK thing kind of woke me up, and it's like, wow. The stories we're being fed aren't true, right? Lee Harvey Oswald did not kill JFK. Matter of fact, he probably had nothing to do with it. It was just like he said before he got killed, and that I'm just a patsy, right? So that kind of woke me up, and this goes back at least 12 or 13 years for me. But that's kind of what got us started. That was like step one of the staircase, And then obviously a lot of other things came along. 9/11 and how many people saw those buildings fall that day and thought, those planes didn't bring those buildings down. That doesn't pass my sniff test, But then, of course, the media machine went into action, and the powers that be went into action, and they had their story ready, and they fed it. Oh, well, okay, I guess it was 19 hijackers, right? And that's just what we have to believe, is what we're fed. But anyway, so that was a big one for me. And then, the moon landings. The moon landings were a huge thing for me. That's kind of what I was trying to get to here. And we're being fed all throughout this week. We've been fed stories about, the 50th anniversary, and isn't it wonderful, and Buzz Aldrin and Neil Armstrong, and, but I personally think there's a ton of evidence, and there's one key thing that I'll get to here in a second, but There's a ton of evidence that the moon landings were fake. I mean, just look at the footage. The footage looks fake, you know? And what did Elon Musk say about his car in space? The thing that he did recently, it's like, well, you know it's real because it looks so fake. Now, how dumb I mean, come on, really? Is that really a proof for, you know, how real it is? Oh, we know it's real because it looks so fake. I don't even know where to go with that. But, I mean, just a couple things. Look at the lunar lander. No blast crater underneath. How did they land? You know, they would have displaced so much dust and earth, and there's no crater underneath. I mean, the feet of the little tripod feet that look like they're wrapped in tinfoil and held up with curtain rods and duct tape, yeah, they don't even have any dust on them. So, and then, what they did with the camera footage is they just slowed it down 50%, you know? So it makes them look like they're hopping along in this lower gravity or, you know, whatever, right? Well, if you speed the tape up to 2 times, it just gets back to, looks like normal motion. It looks like it was filmed here on Earth, which it was, I'm sure, you know? So anyway, those are just a few things. There's tons of evidence that the moon landings were faked, okay? And no, we didn't go. Some people say, oh, well, we went, but they had this backup plan and all this footage created in case we didn't, because we had to beat the Russians and all this stuff, right? We had to beat the Russians to the moon, and because they beat us to space, and America, you know, we have to be number one, and, you know, I mean, it's just silliness. So where am I going? I'm kind of all over the place, so forgive me, but, so the main point I want to make is that you can look up in the sky and look at the moon and know we didn't go, because we can't go. There's no way to go to the moon, okay? The most space we've explored is low Earth orbit. And matter of fact, the scientists in NASA even agree with that now. If you go online and you look at a lot of stuff that's been said in the last 10 years, there's this guy saying, oh, you know, we can't go any further than low Earth orbit, and we're working on how to get past the Van Allen radiation belts and all this. It's all nonsense. We can't go much higher than about 120 miles, you know. We can go up there and float around for a while, but what goes up comes right back down. Nothing goes up and stays up there. The moon is not what they've told us it is. It's not some spherical rock up there in space suspended by some sort of magical gravity. It's not. It's a light in the sky that has certain characteristics that some we understand, some we don't. But we've obviously been able to, we can predict the phases, you know. And here's another thing. If the moon's spinning around the Earth and the Earth is spinning around the sun and the Earth itself is spinning on its axis, why every month after month after month, we see the exact same phases of the moon over and over and over again, like clockwork? Wouldn't they change at some point? Wouldn't they look different based upon the current, current positioning of the Earth relative to the sun and the moon relative to the Earth? And no, it's all nonsense. So you can look up at the moon and you can know that we never went to the moon and we never will go to the moon. So any talk of going back to the moon or to Mars in the future is just nonsense. It's all propaganda, all meant to distract us and keep us looking up into the stars and thinking that we can go. Star Trek and Star Wars and all these modern films with their CGI, like Gravity and all, it's all propaganda. It's all Hollywood, computer-generated movies, you know. Again, look up at the moon. Look up at the moon during the daytime, when it's out during the daytime, like a crescent moon or a half moon. And you look at the white part of the moon, the part that's illuminated, and then look at the rest. And then look through the craters of the moon, and what do you see? You see blue sky through the craters, and you see blue sky through the part that's not illuminated. Well, what does that tell you? That tells you that it's not a solid object. You're looking right, it's translucent, you're looking right through it. Then wait till it gets nighttime, and if the same moon is still out at night, you're gonna have the same thing, but it's gonna be black. Well, it's because it matches the sky behind it. If the sky is black, then you see the black through the craters, you see black through the unlit part of the moon. Now, is the moon still, it still looks like a circle, but it has its phases, and the part that's not illuminated, that's just part of its phases, and I don't understand it. I don't even think scientists understand it. And what they do is they have to keep this lie up that they started, way back when, because it keeps us all in the dark and keeps us trusting them, keeps us trusting them. So I just had to get on here and say something. If this video works, I hope it does. I haven't figured out even how to upload or do anything with YouTube yet, but I'm going to try to figure that out so I can maybe share online here. I'm brand new, so I've been on YouTube a long time, but I've never done this. So if you happen to like what I had to say, or if you have anything else to say, feel free to, you know the drill, right? Like, subscribe, or not, whatever people say, right? What's the guy on, what is his name? Richie from Boston, right? Like, subscribe, or not, I don't care, right? He cracks me up. Like, subscribe, or not, I'm out. He's entertaining to listen to. So anyway, I hope this has been somewhat entertaining. And if you haven't ever checked these things out, man, check them out. Study the moon. Look at the moon. Get one of them high telephoto cameras and study the moon. It's incredible. It's incredible. You'll be amazed at what you see. And don't believe everything you're told. Look into it for yourself. Don't trust me. I'm just one guy. Look into it for yourself. There's plenty of evidence out there. The internet is amazing. It's got lots of garbage on it, but it's also got a lot of great stuff that we can share with each other. So anyway, if I can figure out how to upload this, I'll do that. Sorry for rambling on and on. I was going to try to keep this to 10 minutes or less, but yeah, so there you go. Have a wonderful day, and hopefully this works, and we'll talk to you next time.